Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Blue Economy Research and Internship Opportunity Zoom panel as part of STEM Week 2022. I'm so excited that you are all here. We have fantastic presenters tonight, and I know have a class of students from Barnstable High School. Shout out to Barnstable, my alma mater. Happy that they are here in Miss West's classroom. Welcome. We've got some students from 4Cs that I recognize, and I know that we'll have a lot of fun talking about the opportunities for high school and undergraduates, including community college students tonight. So thank you everyone for joining us. My name is Bridget Berger, and I am the director of the Cape Cod Regional STEM Network, and we are coordinating this event as part of STEM Week. And Rachel is part of our team. Rachel, do you want to say hi?
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm the STEM program coordinator at 4Cs.
And we are so happy that everyone is here. So without further ado, let's get started with the panelists. We're going to leave plenty of time for questions at the end, but if you have questions as we go along, I encourage you to put them in the chat, and then we can take the opportunity at the end to read out those questions, or at the end, we'll stop recording and then you'll be able to just unmute yourself and ask questions. So with that, Kama, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Kama Thieler, and I'm at the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. And I'd like to tell you a bit about an internship program that we have here that is specifically for 4C students. Next slide, please. So a bit of an overview. It is called the Blue Economy Internship, and it has two components. The first is a short course that students will take here on the campus in Woods Hole and in early January. And the second component is an internship placement that lasts through the spring semester. The interns will earn a stipend of $17 an hour, and there is reimbursement provided for mileage if you drive here, or reimbursement for your transportation if you are taking the bus or some other type of transportation. And also, all the participants are enrolled in and will earn a credit through ENV 260, the internship course, and that tuition is generously covered by the STEM Starter Academy. Next slide, please. So the course itself, as I mentioned, is in early January. In 2023, it will run the 3rd through the 12th, and you'll be spending about 2 hours a day in the course. So as you can see, these are some of the blue economy topics that are covered: aquaculture, marine robotics and sensors, wind energy, coastal water quality. And we'll have 8 sessions, and they will include a lecture as well as some type of hands-on activity. So you can see in the images across the bottom, we have some instructors teaching about plastics, marine plastics. In the center image, the students are building a scale model of a wind farm. And we happen to have the class in a really exciting new facility where there's an opportunity to see robots and remotely operated vehicles and things like that. Next slide, please. So after the course is done, the students will then begin an internship placement. So the placement will either be in a research lab, an engineering shop, or with one of our technical groups. And we make those matches based on the interest of the students. So you could be in a biology lab, as seen in the center here, or on the left, the student is working with the 3D printers in our rapid prototyping facility. The schedule is flexible through the semester. You and your advisor can decide when it's most convenient for you to come to WHOI. And you'll learn skills, become part of a team, and then you'll have the opportunity to present about your work, as seen in the lower right picture. Next slide, please. And just a little more of the details. You need to be currently enrolled in a degree program. You don't have to have prior experience. We really want to involve people who haven't had that opportunity. And so you just need to be excited about STEM and want to learn more. You should either be a STEM major or have completed 2 community college science classes. The application is now live, and we'll be sharing the link to the website. But there's a form that includes your contact information and questions about your interests, and that will help us match you with the right mentor. You'll submit your transcript and one letter of recommendation. And let's see, there is a QR code that will take you to our website. And you can also see one of our students visiting a former 4C student, who's now working in the group of the Alvin submersible. So if you have any questions, you can contact me at education@whoi.edu. And thank you very much.
Great, thank you. And Greta, you're up next. Greta, you're muted, you have to unmute.
Sorry about that. Hi there, I am Greta Saris, and I'm also talking from WHOI, the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, and we're located in Woods Hole. And what I want to tell you about is this opportunity that happens during the summer or during the fall semester. So we call our program CC Crew. It's a research experience. And it's headed off by Julie Huber. She's a PI at WHOI, and I'm the coordinator, the person who works with students on a daily basis. And I also have Callie Pate with me. She'll be talking at the very end about her experience. She has been a student both in the Blue Economy internship as well as with us at the CC Crew program. So think about questions you'd like to ask her afterwards, definitely. A little bit more about our program. Next slide, please. So it's a paid research experience. And for now, we started in 2015, and we've had 25 students to date. Our goal is to bring in a diverse student body into the STEM field. We want to diversify the field. We want to find talent from you who are at the community colleges. And the goal is then to be exposed to scientific research and be placed in a research lab, be embedded in a research lab. And we also focus on this transition, thinking, you know, you're at the 2-year college now, you want to move on to 4-year college, and we would like to help you with that. Next slide, please. So as I briefly mentioned, we have 2 versions of our program. The summer version is the one that's been running since we started the program. And that is an 8 to 10 week long program from mid-June to mid-August. And we have room for 6 students. So you work 40 hours a week, or do research, participate in the program for the 40 hours a week. And we pay, that's the current payment, $17 an hour. The second version that we have of the program is a fairly new one. And this is where you as a student at 4Cs take this environmental science internship course. So you get the 3-credit course. And in addition, for those 270 hours that belong to the course, you actually are paid. It's the same, you're embedded in a research lab. You get to learn about STEM fields, STEM careers, and yeah, so that's the second option that we have, and we have room for 6 students for that course as well. And it's the STEM Starter Academy that's generously covering the tuition for this semester version. So you both get paid for taking the course, and the tuition is covered as well. Next slide, please. So as I have briefly alluded to, what do we want for the students to get experience? Again, we don't expect you to have had experience in research before. We want enthusiastic students to come, learn just to be independent workers in the lab. You learn the basic from doing glassware, making chemical solutions, media, learn about the different tools, different instruments we have in the lab, and learn to also set up experiments. So instead of being like a lab at your college right now, you learn, how do you plan an experiment? How do you then set it up? How do you analyze the data you get? And so as of last summer, we have students that are placed in different research labs in chemistry, in biology, and we're hoping to expand beyond that too. But So the projects, they differ by the lab that you're hosted in. So anything in our lab, we work on culturing microbes. There are some labs that are working on more both microbial and chemical reactions that are happening out in the environment. Some labs are studying DNA sequences in invasive species. So there are a lot of potential research projects that the students end up doing. Next slide, please. So besides doing this or getting introduced to the scientific research, you have a chance to learn about different STEM careers. You're embedded in the lab, you're at the institution, you learn about what job opportunities are there at WHOI. We attend seminars and you get the chance to talk to scientists, meet alumni that have gone through our program and see where did they end up after they went to 4Cs or to their respective community colleges. So this transition from a 2-year to 4-year, that's a difficult transition. And that's where we are there to guide, to mentor, to even go on some field trips, visiting college campuses. So building a STEM network, making you feel like you found your STEM identity, that's our whole purpose. We want to be supportive. Next slide, please. So the outcomes, these 2 pie charts here are basically just showing that most of our students have gone on to 4-year colleges. We have several that have stayed within the state at the state colleges like UMass Amherst, UMass Dartmouth are the largest ones. UMass Lowell, we have students, but also some private colleges like Amherst College, Cornell, and Boston University. The degrees that their students end up doing range anything from biology, biochemistry, chemistry, so several scientific areas. We are monitoring our students so you become part of the family. So and I've just shown briefly a couple of pictures. Nick, who Kama mentioned, he's now working at WHOI. Sierra is working up in biotech industry up in Boston. So next slide, please. This program starts in the summer, so we don't have our application ready yet. But if you want to read more about our program, there's a QR code. And like I said, we don't expect students to come in with a lot of experience. We want students who are enthusiastic, who are learning, who want to learn about potential science careers. There will be more information. So applications won't be due until February, but come end of this year, very early next year, you'll learn more about. We'll open up the application. And let's see, next slide, please. So if you have any questions, contact me at msaris@whoi.edu or Julie Huber. So her email address. And then I want to just pass on the torch to Callie, and she can say a few words about her experience. Thank you.
So hi, I'm Callie. I am currently enrolled at the Cape Cod Community College for Environmental Science. I participated in both the Blue Economy and CC Crew, and I am working in a environmental pollutants lab. So I basically look at how we can degrade oil and plastic and clean up the ocean. So I really advise people to really consider these.
You want to do next slide? Sorry.
Yeah, sure. I encourage people to really, who are interested in possibly going into marine science, to really try out and do these internships, because I didn't know what I wanted to do at first. I knew I wanted to be in the science field, but I wasn't exactly sure how or where I wanted. So doing these internships, I was really able to figure out what I wanted and who I wanted to be in the science field. So with CC Crew, I determined that I really did like chemistry and the hands-on work. I got to really work throughout the summer, and I started to develop my project and finding results. And it really it gave me some confidence to move on to a 4-year college. At first I was hesitant because I didn't know anything, but through CC Crew, I was able to learn more and talk to more people to figure out what I wanted to do. And at the end of CC Crew program, we do a poster presentation. So it gives you an opportunity to also talk about what your science is and hear from other people and see other people's experiments.
Thank you so much, Callie. It's great to hear from you. And I'm sure that we will have follow-up questions for you when we get to the questions and answers. So since we started late, we're extending a little bit here. And so we're going to hear from our next presenter. Morgan, are you ready?
Yes. Can everyone hear me? Okay. I don't know if my screen is popping up. Can everyone see me? I can't see myself. It's always interesting to have that happen. Okay, well, my name is Morgan Peck, and I am the education coordinator and camp director at Wellfleet Bay Wildlife Sanctuary, which is a 5-mile, essentially, wildlife sanctuary in South Wellfleet that includes several different really lovely habitats, barrier beaches, salt marshes, rivers, grasslands, and home to our very large nature center with several aquarium tanks of rehabilitated animals. We are a Mass Audubon sanctuary, so our real goal is to develop stewardship for those that visit us and educate folks about our wonderful wildlife that we have here in Massachusetts and several endangered species projects that we work on. So we have several seasonal opportunities that come and go throughout the year. We have our very own research department that focuses on endangered species projects, which include sea turtle rescues in the winter and rehabilitation. We work with diamondback terrapin turtles, nest protecting, and head starting hatchling turtles of that species, horseshoe crab monitoring, piping plover monitoring, as well as several others. And in the summertime, we run a day camp, and it is an environmentally nature-based day camp. So the campers ages 4 to 15 spend most of their day outside and getting to know our conservation projects, really getting hands-on time with nature and certain animals. So in the summer, we look for educators to help instruct various age groups during our summer camp. It is a fully paid position, anywhere between $16 to $19 an hour, depending on your background, but we're looking for anyone with a real affinity to environmental education, early childhood education, coastal sciences, marine biology, who is hoping to pass that passion on to the younger generations and help create stewards. So I'm just going to show a quick little video that will give you an idea of our day camp and what we do. And so while we're getting that link up, you might have to click, it's like a specific spot on the title. There we go. So just a really quick video to give you an idea of the day in the life of our day camp. And many of our camp opportunities can extend to other seasonal opportunities if you wish to, stay at Wellfleet Bay. And I don't hear the sound. I don't know if anyone else can necessarily hear the sound. Oh, there it is. So we've got some campers there in our salt marsh who are dip netting for some coastal organisms, bringing back some samples to hold in our touch tanks, some horseshoe crabs. So we play lots of games, we do really artistic activities. Thank you. And so the goal of camp obviously is, for everybody to have a great time and really enjoy their time in nature and to make friends and build connections. But at the same time, our goal is really to build the next generation of environmental stewards. So all of our camp weeks are themed to a specific natural history theme, and we work to develop curriculum that supports those themes. So that's sort of the basis of our Wellfleet Bay Nature Day Camp, and it's a really wonderful opportunity for anyone who's looking to get into environmental education, or simply looking sort of as a step to working at a wildlife sanctuary or wildlife conservation efforts full time. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Morgan. I'm having some Wi-Fi issues, so I'm conserving by stopping my video of myself. But I'm also putting in the chat the links for each of these presentations. So for those of you who are interested to learn more and or apply to these awesome opportunities, check out the chat, because I've been putting the links in and I'll continue to do so. And we also have next Aisha from Mass Audubon talking about other programs and opportunities for you.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Aisha Farley, she, her pronouns. I'm the Early Career Programs Manager at Mass Audubon. Really nice to meet you all today. I'm going to talk a little bit more about a program that is in development called the Mass Audubon Climate Corps. Next slide, please. So last year, we had our first coastal resilience program that our Dr. Danielle Perry led at several of our sanctuaries at Mass Audubon. And it was mainly a learning experiential based program to support folks who want to learn more about coastal resilience and restoration work and do data analysis and research. And so we're kind of expanding the program this year to our Massachusetts Climate Corps internship. And the model is core members will work full-time for about 8 weeks over the summer on a Mass Audubon resilient restoration project at one of our sanctuaries. Ideally, most of the work will be around vulnerability assessments and or baseline monitoring at Barnstable Great Marsh. And each core member will be provided professional development opportunities such as naturalist bird certification programs, leadership conferences, symposiums, field classes, sanctuary visits, and professional development workshops. So we're modeling this primarily off of our coastal resilience internship that happened last year and our environmental fellows program that is occurring this year for folks who graduate with a 4-year degree. Next slide, please. And this is a photo of some of our interns and fellows this past summer. On the left, we have a fellow who is digging runnels at one of our sanctuaries, doing conservation work. The middle photo is of folks on a cohort experience doing some kayaking, and the last photo is another fellow working on land conservation at another site. So the really wonderful thing about this opportunity is you get to work outside and do a lot of coastal resilience work, primarily at Barnstable Great Marsh, and additionally learn quite a few things about Mass Audubon, our sanctuaries, and other careers here at the org. Next slide. Last year, we had a bunch of our coastal resilience interns and fellows gather together again in a really cool experience, meeting folks, interns, not only at Mass Audubon, but at other organizations such as U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and networking and connecting with different opportunities after their internship. Next slide. And so ideal candidates, we looking for folks who are high school seniors and above. So folks who are in community college, folks who are in 4-year track. We encourage everyone to apply, specifically folks who have been traditionally underrepresented in the environmental fields. And we're looking for folks who are passionate about social justice, since we talk a lot about environmental justice in the program, but who also just have an interest in environmental and conservation fields and a background in sciences that you're interested in, have taken some prerequisites that would be necessary just for you to learn some of the data management and conservation skills in the field. Next slide. And the application process, the application will be released this winter on the Mass Audubon website. And our team will follow up with Rachel at CCC to share more application information once it's launched. But if you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to just send me an email, afarley@massaudubon.org. Thanks so much.
Awesome, thank you. And now Rachel is going to tell us about a few more opportunities that just came across our desk. That we're aware of. And Rachel, go ahead.
Hi, yeah, so I'm going to share a little bit of what I know about these opportunities. I am not the expert on these opportunities. I've just read their websites, so I will synthesize a little for you, but always good to expose and know about what's out there. MBL in Woods Hole does offer a research experience for undergraduates, and this is a 10-week summer program where students complete a research project with a mentor, field trips, course meetings, luncheons, all kinds of activities. And this is an opportunity that's open to students from around the country. They do encourage students from small colleges, community colleges, underrepresented groups to apply. And if you are accepted for the program, this is a program that offers a stipend and room and board in Woods Hole for the summer for 10 weeks. One other opportunity to be aware of, NOAA offers a scholarship and summer program specifically for students that are enrolled in a 4-year degree program that includes students that are transferring into a 4-year program. So if you are a student at 4Cs or a student at a 4-year program, if you're a student at 4Cs that's transferring into a 4-year program, you could definitely be eligible for this opportunity. Students receive a scholarship for 2 years of study, and then they receive a summer internship program at a NOAA facility for them, kind of aligned with interests. And I do believe there are NOAA facilities in our region that host students in the summer. And a couple other requirements listed here, just keeping in mind that the deadline for that one is at the end of January. So you might want to check it out before then if you are interested.
Thanks. All right. And so we do want to do Q&A. I'd like to just first touch on the future events. So if you could, Rachel, just forward to this slide, I'm going to put in the chat. Please check out our wonderful calendar of events at capecodstemweek.org, and also the state's STEM Week website, where not only our events are listed, but events around the state, and many of them are virtual, and many of them may be close to you. If you live off Cape, you might be close to some of the ones in Bristol or Massasoit or Southeastern Mass, somewhere in that area. So do check them out. And so I just wanted to share that before we stop recording and go on to Q&A. Did we have any more slides, Rachel, or was that the last slide?
We also just highlight a few of our events that participants of this panel, if you enjoyed it, you might want to check these out. Two that we're especially excited about, we have some PD opportunities specifically for teachers in the Cape Cod region. One will be offered with a partnership through MIT, so you can come to the webinar to learn more, as well as one offered with Tufts, focusing on biology and teaching evolution biology.
And the mentoring program that you see pictured there, this is for K through 12 teachers and Cape Cod Community College students. So I'm going to put that link in the chat as well. And so please check that out if you are interested. If you're a K through 12 teacher or you're a Cape Cod Community College student, do check out the STEM Mentoring Network to connect with STEM professionals that can help you advance your career, and or if you're a teacher, to help bring that professional into your classroom. It's something that we support through the Cape Cod Regional STEM Network and STEM Starter Academy at Cape Cod Community College. So we want to make sure that you're all aware of that. All right, so with that, we can stop recording.